Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunbear Trials, our charity one-shot benefiting the Transgender Law Center, an organization that is the largest national trans-led organization advocating for a world in which all people are free to define themselves and their futures. Now, before we go over incentives and gameplay, I would like for all of us to introduce our incredible players. Today, I will start us off. I am Valiant Dorian. I use him as pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Sunbear. Please do that lovely treasure hunt I just set you on. And tonight, I am your humble game master who is going to do bear things. I just realized that we had an intro video and I've been talking this whole time. Fuck.
You're good. You're
the
delayed.
intro video.
I know we're good?
You're live.
Yeah. Okay, cool, because there's, on my end, lots of delay. We love tech, everybody. Hi. Never mind. We're all sorted. No worries at all. All right. I've already introduced myself. That is fine. Let's go introduce our incredible players for today, starting off with Aiden.
I'm Aiden Thomas. My pronouns are he, they. I am a young adult fiction writer. I wrote Sunbear Boys, Last Than Ever was the Sunbear Trials, which is kind of what inspired us to do this whole Honey Heist campaign and to begin with. My character is a black bear. My name is Arroyo. I am wearing a fez hat, which is very important. And my kind of like descriptor is a bumbling thief. So that is the skill set I am bringing to this campaign.
Amazing. Alex, please continue.
All right. Hi, I'm Alex. My pronouns are they, them. By day, I am Aiden's wrangler. But by night, I'm a panda bear named Yara, who uses she, her pronouns. She's a lesbian, and that's important to me. Her skill is that because she's a panda, she can eat anything that looks like bamboo. But her role in the party is that she's the rookie face. So we'll see how that goes.
Amazing. Johnny, go on ahead.
Hi, I'm Jonny Garza Villa. I also write young adult books, including that one most recently, Under and Something We're Here. I am playing Hermoso. I feel like Hermoso is like he's our barbarian. And yeah.
All right, Christen, get over.
Hi, I'm Christen Randall. I use she, they pronouns. I'm also an author whose queer YA debut is coming out beginning of next year. I'm playing the slick Sunbear driver, Miffy.
And a very, very apt and incredible party that we have tonight. And as we've mentioned before, we are raising money for the Transgender Law Center. So during this game, there'll be donation incentives that we'll be honoring throughout the stream. And use !donate to support the charity and learn more about incentives. And I do want to take this moment to acknowledge the particular climate that we find ourselves in. Queer and trans rights and lives are actively being threatened by the powers that be, and this is an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is and support queer and trans rights all over the country. So I implore everyone to please donate to the Transgender Law Center and to show your support and step up for queer and trans lives and rights wherever you see fit, because we've always been here. Trans rights are human rights, and that is the bare minimum of what we deserve. And let's get on to our donation
Bare
incentives.
minimum? The bare minimum?
I was typing it. I'm so mad.
Truly the bare minimum of what we deserve. And we deserve the world, because queer joy, wrath, and justice is revolutionary. And so our donation incentives for tonight are at $5, you get a name in our thank you credits, only if you select it. So please remember to select it, because it won't show up otherwise. At $10, a player can take a -1 to a roll, which will help them succeed. At $15, a player can take advantage and take the better roll. At $20, I will be legally obligated to introduce a hot NPC. Legally obligated. And at $35, everyone gets a -1 to a roll. So that's a bonus for everyone in the party. At $40, we have a complication to arise, a sticky situation, or a GM boon. I am a benevolent GM. Only good things will happen when this is chosen, I promise. At $60, each player gets an advantage. At $75, everyone has to change hats. So all of our hatted folks must please change their hats. And at $100, a point can be moved from the bear to criminal or criminal to bear with a book title bear pun instead of a flashback or honey consumption. So I hope everyone here is prepared for their puns for today. And I just want to remind everyone that these incentives will influence how we play. So use exclamation point charity or exclamation point donate to find out more. Amazing. So without further ado, let's get into the session. But before I continue, we do have content warnings. The content warnings for this session include fantasy and cartoon violence, bears, descriptions of bugs, and descriptions of rushing water. And so now, without further ado, if we're all ready, my wonderful players at the table, we will begin. The Sunbear trials are in full swing. These trials are an annual tournament to determine the very best bear to ever bear. The prize? Loads of honey and a briefcase of pure Manuka extract worth 5 million bear dollars. The location for our annual tournament this year is within the dense jungle, with streamers and banners strewn across the high branches of this jungled area. There is a mud path that has been well trod with bear paws, with barriers of wood to signify the starting line, and the racetrack lined with torches. Right now, many a bear are gathered along a central atrium built together with sticks of bamboo and wood, all neatly shuffled into a beautiful bear statue made out of pure bamboo. It is gorgeous, it is wonderful, an act of pure bear creativity. And as all of these bears are now settled in, there is a low hum of bear conversations with one another as young Sunbear trial hopefuls await the arrival of the tournament's organizer. But before we do that, there's a handful of bears, 4 bears, I would say in particular, that are sat together in the corner of the crowd, observing, carefully plotting. And with that, I would like to introduce our first character. So, Arroyo, tell us, who are you, what do you look like, and what are you doing as you are beginning the first few steps of your heist?
I'm Arroyo, I'm a black bear, and I am a world-renowned thief. And climbing is my specialty. So at the moment, I've got my big brain on under my fancy little fez cap, which is very important to me on an emotional and spiritual level. And I am sitting here observing and trying to get some ideas and look at really the weak points of this whole organization, because I have big plans, big plans. I don't know how to follow through with them yet, but it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. And your black bear eyes scan across the crowd. You see the busy young hopefuls shuffling in with their little race sashes across their bodies. Some are doing stretches as they are awaiting the organizer's instructions. And as your eyes are panning across the crowd, Yara, who are you? What do you look like? And what are you doing in preparation for the beginning of your heist?
Hi, I'm Yara. I'm a panda. This is actually my first heist, so I'm pretty excited. I've got the jitters a little bit. I'm wearing my cowboy hat, which is standard for the criminal organization that I work with. And I've called in my cousin to help us out on this job, and I'm a little worried because you're not supposed to mix business with family, but I did it. I don't know. It just seems like a good opportunity, good situation. So yeah, I think Yara's kind of like looking around, taking it all in, a little on edge, but like ready for the action.
I love that everyone's ready for the action. And speaking of your cousin from the organization. So, Hermoso, please tell us, who are you? What do you look like? And how are you preparing for this heist?
Yeah, I am Hermoso. I am also cowboy-hatted clad. And I think he's just kind of like trying not to be like overtly too serious, like kind of maybe just like kind of like when you have like are like leaning back in your chair, so it's like only on the back two legs, like humming along to his favorite song, Honky Tonk Bear Donkey Donk, and like just kind of like scanning the room for who might be the easiest to terrify later, which is one of his favorite things.
I think in this moment, as you are looking for the easiest group of people to terrify, I think you see a group of especially young bears that are hanging around, and they keep panning over to you because you seem so chill and so relaxed in this very high stakes tournament for them. And I think just by the mere sight of you, they're kind of like already intimidated and just kind of like ducking their head back and forth to just kind of peek at you and then look away. And with that, last but never least, I'm sorry, your character's name has vanished from my head. Christen, please remind me then of who you are, what do you look like, and what are you up to? Sorry, Miffy, there we go. Now it's appeared in my brain.
Hi, yes, I'm Miffy. I forgot my hat. I was supposed to wear a hat today and I forgot it. I am a short, fat Sunbear, hanging out with the big kids. I am trying very hard to look cool and composed. I'm a little twitchy. My nose is twitching around. I'm just trying to take it all in. Maybe smelling some honey wafting through the air. But trying to look like I really know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably very obvious that this is also my first heist, like my cousin Yara. But just trying to blend in and to look really cool.
Amazing. You're all blending in. You're all being incredibly serious heisters here in this incredible event. And this incredible event being the Sunbear trials. And we are surrounded by a bunch of bears. So, now that you're all gathered here, you are planning to execute a heist that is complex, that requires impeccable and precise timing. And I would love to remind yourselves, as well as the rest of the audience at home, that each and every one of you is a goddamn bear. And in this moment, as we are reminded of your existence as being a bear, a older, gruff-looking, spectacled bear begins bumbling up the beautiful bamboo stage underneath the large statue of a bear standing triumphantly. And you all know, each and every one of you, as you have done your research, at the bare minimum research, to know that this is Bruno, the organizer of this year's Sunbear trials. And as I mentioned before, he's a gruff-looking, spectacled bear. He has a little bow tie and a top hat that he's wearing as he bumbles onto the stage. And as he arrives, he says to the hopefuls in the crowd, "Good afternoon, great hopefuls of the Sunbear trials. I am so pleased to welcome you all to this year's tournament and to see such enthusiastic and eager faces here in the crowd today." As the crowd begins to surge in excitement and cheer and clap their little bear paws, you see Bruno raise a paw and say, yes, thank you. I really, really appreciate you all being here. This year's tournament is separated between 3 segments to test all aspects of your bear characteristics and ability. We will first begin with an annual favorite, the bear tournament to roll down the hill. Fastest roller will be the first person to engage in the next course, which is a water course. Here it is an open creativity sort of space. You can decide to build a little vehicle or even swim your way across the surging waters over here in this jungle. And finally, we will conclude with the honey hunt to see which of you bears are the most worthy to be the very best bear to ever bear. And it will be the honey hunt in which you shall rely on your bear instincts and your excellent sniffers to hunt down our prize. And he turns around to showcase, emerging from behind the stage, a large platform emerges, and it showcases the biggest honey pot any of y'all have ever seen. The golden sheen of the honey cascading just across the lip of the honey jar, tempting you all with how delicious this is, as well as a large briefcase, also thick of manuka, and all of your noses are immediately greeted with the aroma of gorgeous, sweet honey. This may be the prize of these tournament hopefuls, but no, lest they all know, 'tis actually your prize that this honey belongs to. And with that, you see Bruno smile towards the crowd with his large set of teeth and the jowls hanging out. And with that, I humbly request that all of the tournament hopefuls to please gather near the starting line and please line up to acquire your racing numbers. And then we will begin the tournament in due course. And everyone cheers and claps, and Bruno finally steps off. And with that, I am going to ask all of you, what are you doing now that you know the structure of the tournament? You begin to see that the people who unveiled the honey and the manuka have since moved the platform and are beginning to probably change locations. So, what are we feeling? What is the group's mindset now as the majority of the folks who are here begin to move towards the starting line?
So I know the first thing, I just called in. I got called into this. So first thing I need to do is to find my people. And I know that the organization has a certain hat. So I see my two friends, or not my friends, strangers, really. My accomplices, Yara and Hermoso. And so my goal is to get to them and to drop the secret code word so that we all know that we're on the same side and that we're working together.
Yeah, easy enough. You sashay your way over to this group. I kind of want to ask you to roll, mostly for my benefit. I want to see how this starts off. I am going to say that since you're doing this specifically to show that you're a real criminal, a real hardened criminal.
Yeah.
I would like for you to roll with criminal. So you have 3 points in criminal and in bear right now. So you want to get under a 3. So roll a d6 and get under a 3 for me.
That's a 5.
Oh, no. Well, about that. So now that has happened, you technically fail that roll.
Yeah.
So 1 point of your criminal moves towards bear. So now you're at 2 and 4.
All right.
So how do you think you failed? How do you think you failed in showing that you're a criminal in this moment?
So, since I'm an expert thief,
yes,
who's been doing this just for years, I sneak my way through the crowd, head low to the ground, huge furry butt knocking into people left and right, as I approach my comrades in arms. And I get up right next to Yara, and I breathe right in her ear with my very fish-smelling breath, and I go, I forgot the password. So I hesitate. I'm just kind of standing right behind Yara's shoulder, kind of just breathing on her as I try to be like, what was it that I was supposed to say? and then kind of accidentally bump into Yara immediately.
Okay, well, that terrifies Yara, and I can let you know that she has a punch response.
Oh,
no. She definitely takes a swing. But I think when she realizes who you are, she immediately just is like looking at Hermosa like, okay, what do we do? Like, you're the boss here. Is this guy good?
I say, pumpkin or squash?
Okay, and then so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, pumpkin or squash? Pumpkin or squash? And then I'm like, I'm not really much of a vegetarian. So salmon? Is that right? Is that it?
He knows the password. He's good.
Okay.
Amazing.
And I'm like, yes, I'm absolutely killing this.
Beep. How are you reacting to all this?
Me?
Yes.
I knew the password, of course, as well.
Of course.
And
Yes.
I was just waiting very patiently for her to get it right. So I'm just giving like a very like, oh yeah, okay, yes, okay. Of course this bear is in with us. Yes, of course.
Of course. Yes, so you're now all huddled together. Everyone is beginning to move towards the starting line. And as you're all kind of like huddled together, finally resolving the password debacle, walking past the group of you are two security guards. One of them is a butch lesbian of a grizzly bear. She has piercings in her ears, the little dangly ones that come up to a sword. She is wearing these leather vestments with security in bold letters written across her back. And I think maybe she sort of like shoulder checks Yara a little bit as she is moving past, and then she just kind of like turns around to see who it is and see that it's Yara and just says like, "Hey, sorry about that. I'll be moving on now." Just suavely and coolly walking past you and gives you a wide, toothy grin and begins moving. And the second security guard is also dressed very similarly, but it seems that this fella's got a leather pauldron attached to his left shoulder, which kind of sounds like he might have thought that this was a different kind of trial rather than a regular normal tournament in the jungle. And he has this kind of like, he's a sloth bear, so he's got this like shagginess down his chin and neck, and he just kind of like looks at you all and just gives you all a smile and goes, registration counter is further down. We want to keep this area a little clearer so that folks can walk. So yeah, if y'all can make sure not to block the walkways, that'll be excellent. And then just waves at you all and walks off. And those are your hot NPCs, chat. I am a keeper of my promises. But yeah, so you're all huddled together. What is the plan? You know that they're security guards. You know that they're transporting the Honey and Manuka to a different location. And at one point in the tournament that there's going to be a hunt for them. What is the strategy here?
I think the first thing that I do, I'm like, all right, y'all. I'm just the hired contract here, so I assume that you guys have the master plan. So if you want to let me in on that, so I can like go in there and like absolutely kill it at this heist, just let me know.
I think Yara is very much. I was just gonna say, I think Yara is very much getting like a lot from that. Right? Like that's a lot going on.
I think phase one, I want to turn to the sloth bear and say, I bet I can wear that pauldron better than you.
You think you can wear this pauldron better than I?
Heck yeah.
And you see that this sloth bear turns over to his grizzly bear friend and just goes, "You hear this guy? Thinks he can wear my pauldron better than me. and you see this grizzly bear of a butch lesbian cross her bare arms and just kind of like look over to her compatriot and then to you all and goes, well, you gonna let him talk to you like that? And then you see that this guy just kind of like grumbles. He's like, all right. And then he kind of like unbuckles his pauldron and goes, bet. This sounds... I don't know if this is a bear. I feel this is a bear roll. So because you're doing bear stuff right now. Less criminal, more bear. So give me a roll with a bear. You want to roll under a 3.
Okay.
And Yara's like with the other two, like, don't worry, guys. This is the signature move.
Normal.
A 5.
Oh no, that is a so move over that point over to criminal. So you now have more points of criminal than you do bear. You have 4 and then 2. And with that, you see that this particular bear, you try to put on this pauldron. I think it just doesn't fit. I think you're like a heavier set fellow, and that you're just bigger than this guy. So the pauldron doesn't quite fit. So it kind of looks a little small on your shoulders. And I think that's how you feel. You see this security guard go, see? Only I can pull that off. And then you see his friend nod. Yeah, sorry? Go ahead.
If I had a grizzly size, it would have looked great.
Yeah, sorry you're so big and strong.
Right.
Sorry you're so big and strong. With that response, I think you see the slot bear kind of like deflate a little bit. If your intention was to make him feel a little small, you have at least succeeded in that. Do you return the pauldron?
No.
Wow.
I think it looks really cool, so I think you should keep it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I just like make it more of like a necklace sort of arrangement.
And then you see that the security guard kind of like looks over to his compatriot and back to you. He's like, can I have that back, please?
Can you?
I think while they're doing this, Yara like
Yes.
kinda steps back and like, locks eyes with the butch lesbian security guard and is like,
Oh my lord.
can you believe this? Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?
So, Arroyo, I'm kind of hanging back, assessing the situation as I do. And I'm noticing how good my two colleagues are at distraction. And while they're doing that, I would like to scope out the two guards and see if there's anything that I can just like pick right off of them. That would be helpful.
Fantastic. Cool. So let's resolve a few of these situations. So I think first, I want to know how well you're distracting this guard. So, Yara, please roll bear for me. You have 3 points there. Unless you would like to take an opportunity to also remind me what your skill is. I believe your skill is eating things.
Eating.
Yep. Well, that will not help you here. But you could choose to have a flashback sequence to give you to move a point to bear to give you an additional point there.
Okay.
All that flashback sequence. Let me not lie to you. Where if you it says here by eating a lot of honey, but I, being the gay GM that I am, and because the situation is very gay, I will also allow a flashback regarding how good you are at being gay.
Okay.
So is that something you would like to do?
Oh my gosh, totally. Okay, yeah. So Yara is in her bag with this, okay? She sidles up. She's seen this type of butch before, okay? She has been to the lesbian bear bar, and she knows that the first move you have to make is extreme eye contact. Because if you get somebody looking at you and just at you have their undivided attention. And so the way that she does that is by being bold. And she has this move that she's worked on many times throughout her career as a lesbian panda. she's like, "Hey, do you come here often?" And that's her line. And it's actually never steered her wrong. She's been only successful with this. And so she asked the security guard, "Hey, do you come here often?" And the security guard, I think, does not. So
Go ahead. Well, she might. Let's roll for it. So go ahead,
Okay.
roll me a d6. You now have a 4 in
Okay.
your bear. So go ahead and you gotta roll under a 4.
okay. Got a 3.
Hey.
That is
wow.
a success. And the incredible thing about it going without a hitch is that since you moved it into bear, now it moves back and everything is fine and you have 3 and 3 back in your pools. So you say like, "Hey, do you come here often?" And you're right. She doesn't come here often. But
Once every 10 years, like tournament. that's held
And
in the middle
Yara's
of the
like,
jungle.
"Oh my god, I know, I'm kidding. Isn't like aren't I so funny?" And
You see-
that's how
you
she
see the
works.
lesbian security guy say, "Well, no, I don't come here very often, but maybe I should make it a habit to." And just like smirks and smiles at you. And she's like, "I just started working here in the past couple weeks." So you succeeded in distracting the butch. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to distract this butch lesbian
But I'm doing it.
guard, but it is the end effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, perfect. Arroyo, you want to nick something. Who do you want to nick something from? The one that's having a tiff with your companion over a pauldron, or the one that's being flirted with?
The one that's being flirted with seems like lower
Fantastic.
stakes.
Okay.
He's your target.
I think you see a set of things on them, but I think the thing that really catches your eye as the bear thief that you are is a set of keys that are dangling by her belt. So I'm assuming you would like to attempt to nick that really quick.
I would love to attempt to steal that.
Absolutely. So go ahead and roll with criminal.
Okay.
I believe right now
My criminal's
you
at
rolled a-
4.
your criminal's at 4, so you're gonna have to roll underneath a 4
Uh-huh.
for your d6. But well, you are a thief, so I will let you roll 2d6, and you pick the better roll.
Okay. 5.
Oh no! You need to get under a 4. No. Wait, which is the lower?
wait.
Which is the lower?
No. The lower one. The lower one's 2. Excuse me. I panicked.
That is a success. No, that is fine. We always think bigger is better, and that's fine. So you took the lower number. Perfect. That is a success. So what happens is, I think... Actually, no, you tell me. How do you succeed? How do you successfully get this set of keys off of this card?
As Yara is absolutely killing it over there, which I'm just so proud of. I go up into my little fez hat and I pull out a pair of fingernail scissors, and I'm like, I'm just gonna cut this right off that belt loop, and then also stash it under my fez with my special tools.
With your special tools. Easily done. You come close, your snout like close to the belt, and you just quickly snip that off and just hide it underneath your fez hat like nothing ever happened, and everything's cool and chill.
And then I
Miffy,
fade into the shadows.
you fade into the shadows of the shadows of the light of these torches that are happening here in this jungle. Miffy, what are you up to as the rest of your party is doing this?
Well, for a little while, I've got to back up Hermoso on
Of course,
the pauldron issue because
of course.
that's very stylish. I'm also very sneakily and slickly sniffing the air, just trying to get a good hit on the smell of that 5 million bear dollar honey.
Absolutely.
So that I can maybe track it as it's getting carried off and try to keep tabs on maybe where it's going.
This is a thing that you are skilled at, I believe. So please roll me 2d6. You want to roll under 3 with bear.
I rolled 2 2s, so
Holy crap! Amazing. Your snoofers are doing great work today. Your big nose, like nostrils like flares. You're looking for the smell of honey. Smell it in the distance, and it's going further and further away. but you also smell a very, very thick smell, very, very close to you. You know it is not the honey itself, but I think you see a piece of paper sticking out of this chap's pocket that is a little sticky with honey residue as well. What would you like to do now that you've been graced with this information?
I would like to. Is this the bear who had the pauldron but now does not have the pauldron?
Does not have the pauldron.
Okay.
He's an argument maybe a too strong of a word. He's more begging your friend to give his pauldron back.
Okay.
He's just sitting there being like, "Come on, man! I spent a lot of money on this pauldron at the Ren Fair. Please give it back to me." So how are you gonna try it again?
The bear Ren Fair. The Ren Bear,
Ren
if
Fair.
you will.
The Ren Bear Fair.
While he's trying to defend his pauldron, I'm just gonna get back into the argument or begging session a little bit and be like, hey, if he's got it already, excuse me, and bump into him and try to snatch that little piece of paper by the sticky part that has honey residue on it.
Fantastic. And because you succeeded in your last roll, you now have 4 sorry, let me double check. Greed, but it goes out without bear into criminal. So you now have 4 in criminal and 2 in bear. So go ahead and roll for me.
Okay, so I've got to roll. I rolled a 4.
That succeeds. It's 4 and below, so that's fine. You do succeed. You just nick it out, and I think you can easily tell as you opening out because it's a very well loved, not well taken care of. What looks like a grid of almost like a map of all the different sections for the organizers. So I think you notice that really quickly and are like, we can examine this closer in a hot second.
I'm gonna try to stealthily tuck it into my armpit or something, or bear pockets. Do I have bear pockets?
You can have bear pockets if you want. I will not police whether or not you have a bear pocket.
I have bear pockets, and I'm gonna shove it down in there. Yeah.
Hell yeah! You do that, and as you shove it away, I think you see this guard give up. It's like, fine, keep the pauldron. Just keep it. That's fine. That's a-okay. And he turns over to his compatriot and he just goes, Lila, come on, we're late for our shift. We just gotta go. And you see Lila, this lesbian of a guard, just goes, huh? Oh, right. And she kind of looks over to you, Yara, and just goes, call me. And then they both begin marching away.
Yeah, because I got those digits. Yara's
of course.
In it.
Of course. You had so much game, obviously. And with that, you now have a set of keys as well as a map to your surroundings. And as you begin to actually now have space to pore over the map, you see that this the organizers has segregated a lot of this area in different parts. So there's the first area, which is this main area, which is where they held the honey and the manuka for a little while. And then you see a little kind of pathway that they've written out to go over all of the obstacles that the tournament goers are going through to set up the honey. Well, it seems only a part of the honey for the honey hunt, which means a larger portion of it is being stashed away somewhere. And as you are looking at these plans, you see that the stash is now located in what looks to be some sort of a vault off the main obstacle course. And you see a little note written and scribbled in red ink saying, very, very impenetrable, circled in red. So, what are your thoughts as you're looking over this plan?
I think we all once again look towards Hermoso, who is our seasoned outlaw.
I think Hermoso is just going with the pauldron, so it just goes back and forth.
Oh my lord.
But also, I really am looking forward to rolling down a hill. Do they would like a getting into the vault go simultaneously with rolling down a hill?
You could get closer to that area by rolling down the hill. Yeah, you could
We
definitely
would get there
do
faster than walking as
that. You would get there.
observers.
You would get there faster.
So we can use this to our benefit,
It would throw them off our scent. They would just think we're here to participate,
right?
like regular bears.
Yeah, yeah.
Ariel's like,
not-
"Wait, you guys are really good at this."
This is not what Yara was envisioning for her first heist, but she's like way too self-conscious to be like, So she's like, all right, yeah, I guess we're rolling down the hill, gang. Like that sounds.
Y'all are rolling
Aurora
down
just
the
kind
hill.
of puts his paw on Yara's shoulder, and he's like, "This is pretty standard operating procedure. Don't even worry about it."
If there's a hill, I'm gonna be rolling down it. One thing about me, if there's a hill, I'm gonna be down it.
Okay, are all of us rolling down the hill? Is this the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right.
If Hermosa's in, I'm in for sure.
Beautiful, fantastic. You're rolling down the hill. So my question to y'all is, do y'all want to roll down the hill with the tournament goers, or are you going to find a little area away from the tournament goers to roll down the hill?
I'm taking the opportunity to try to beat people down the hill. Like, I might as well have
Yeah,
fun while I'm here.
I would fully like to mess up some people going down a hill, like NASCAR style.
Fantastic. I think as you are all like getting ready to join in with the tournament goers, who do I want to inflict this upon? I'm going to say, Hermoso, you get a little beep on your little communications watch from an ally of yours who had to call in sick for today, who is meant to join you. And you see that Zoe, who is your hacker, is calling in. And as soon as you look at it, she emerges from it. And you see it's kind of like almost like a video call. And she looks at you all and she goes, "Hey, how are all of you doing?" And she's got like a cool lip piercing, and she's wearing this kind of like loose ruffled shirt as she's looking at all of you, her face lit up by the blue screens. She is indeed a Asian black bear. So while she's wearing this ruffled shirt, you can see through the shirt the signature kind of like U-shaped patterning across her chest. And she's just kind of like playing with the ruffles, and she says, "So how are you all doing? I know I've been really sick and haven't been able to come in, but have you all figured out the location? What is the ETA? What are we looking like right now?"
Oh, weird. You take your time. I'm doing fantastic.
Yes.
I'll peek around Hermosa's shoulder, like, "Oh yeah, we've got it. Like, we've got like a really super great airtight plan. We've got we've got it taken care of. I mean, not to say that we are doing a better job with you not here, but we're doing a really, really good job." So
It'd be great if you were. It'd be great if you were. I'm about to roll down a hill, and you
Yara like grabs
really
Hermosa's
good.
paw and like swivels it so it's like kind of face towards her instead, and it's like, "Oh my god, hi Zoe. We're I got the guards, the security guards' phone number. Basically, we're doing great. Yeah, this is going to be really useful later on, and I don't think anyone suspects a thing. We're blending in really well."
I'm glad
I'm just
to
kind
hear
of like
it.
bouncing in the background, trying to get like on the screen, and I'd be like, "I'm also here, Ariel, the brilliant thief. I'm doing well."
Oh yeah, all right. Oh, you're doing well. I was about to ask how you were feeling and how you were doing. You're doing well. Okay,
Excellent.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I'm glad that all of you are working together, despite being fairly new to this particular configuration. Yeah, that's fine. And she kind of looks over at Morris and is like, "Well, it seems that you've got all these youngins handled. I will leave you to it, as I need more honey lemon tea in my system because I am having the bear sniffles. But enjoy the rest of this heist, and I'm looking forward to checking in with you all later. All right, I will catch you all later. Take care, gang.
Yeah,
And
get well soon. Have fun. Wish you were here. Love you. Bye.
she's like, "Wait, what?" And the call drops. And with that, you get ready at the starting line. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do any of you, this is really important for me to know, do any of y'all make any attempt to pretend to be a tournament girl? Like, do you grab a number? Or are you just, oh yeah, we're doing this? Like, it's our competition
Is the
now.
number one still available?
I will roll on a d4. If it is odds, you get the number. If it's evens, you don't get the number.
Okay, that'll...
That is a 4. You unfortunately, 1 is not available. 10 is.
I take 10 and just like rip off the 0.
I take the 0 and I'm like, boom, we're done.
Yara goes looking for 69 because she thinks it's funny.
69 is available.
All right.
I'll just grab like 12 or something, like just whatever.
Yep. Y'all grab a number. You see that there's this like friendly like older man that sat there. He's your typical black bear. And he's got this thick mustache that's curled into a curve. And his lips and jowls are hidden behind the mustache, and he goes, "Oh, all these youngins, I hope you all have a real good time. I used to compete when I was your age."
That's nice. Bye.
Fantastic. You all get ready. On the hill, everyone is geared up and ready. You see real big buff grizzly bears, some more lanky sun bears that are getting ready to stretch their limbs to roll down this hill. And you see the referee over into the corner say, "Alrighty, folks, on your mark. Get set. Go!" And as they launch these banners down, I want all of you to roll with bear for me, please. With your I believe most of y'all have to roll under a 3. Or you could choose to move a point by giving me a flashback sequence, and I will allow a flashback sequence for all of you to move a point to bear as a group. So
I would like
Anybody
to
done
move a
this
point to
before?
bear
Yeah.
and do a flashback.
Yeah.
flashback sequence, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
So
What is this flashback sequence? Take it away.
I'm standing at the top of the hill and I'm trying to like map out what I'm gonna do. So I'm sitting there and I'm rubbing my chin and I'm going, what would Arroyo do? What would Arroyo do? And then we flash back to 5 hours earlier to where my older brother Arroyo, the real thief in the family, who has gotten himself into a sticky situation and needs to call me in as his replacement. And Arroyo, my very professional, very talented thieving brother, is like, please just try to be quiet, steal things that you can, and then just do what everyone tells you to do, bud. Like, please, for the love of God, try to be as quiet and in the background as possible. But we still need these pollers in order for us to, get a bigger, nicer place to live in together. So please, my dear little brother Edgar, have your shit together. And I'm like, no problem. I have watched I read so many comics about spying and thievery. Like, I really got this down pat. So I go back. I'm remembering that conversation and I'm channeling what my brother said. And I'm like, all right, my plan is to first hold on to my hat because I have lost too many things rolling down hills before, to make sure I don't lose any of my little tools. And I want to get out in front of everyone else as soon as possible. So my goal is to run and do a flying leap into a tuck and a barrel roll, head over heels while still holding my hat. That is my plan.
A barrel roll, am I right? Anyway.
A barrel roll.
I think I would like to, because I did agree for this to be a group, so all of you can move a point to bear. I'm going to connect this to an earlier phone call that Zoe had with you all. that basically it's just like, yeah, one of the fellows that's supposed to be with you has sent in someone else in his stead. So yeah, just I know we're throwing lots of wrenches at the three of you, but like we gotta just get her done. You know what I mean?
I would love to not know that they know that I'm not Arroyo.
I don't think they know that you're not. I don't think they know you're not Arroyo. I think they know.
Okay.
They think your name is Arroyo. They just know that you're not the original guy that's supposed to get here.
Okay, so
they
I can still
do not know.
masquerade as Arroyo, the famous
Yes,
secretive thief.
Yeah, they just think like, oh yeah, you're Arroyo. That's fine. You're just the new guy that's joining in for us. It's you're not masquerading as your brother. Why would anyone do that?
Yara's actually like really impressed at how confident you seem, given that this is your first day on the job.
Yeah, so like I think as Zoe like tells you all of this, are there any like immediate reactions you would like to note for that flashback of knowing that you're having a new teammate joining in, an additional wrench into the plans potentially?
Is the replacement supposed to be on like the same caliber of the person were we expecting someone else?
You were expecting someone else. That person, all that you were told from Zoe is that they got themselves into a sticky situation and had to send in someone else. But that guy vouches for this person.
Okay, that guy, as long as he vouches for him, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And that hat says confidence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows what he's doing. He stole some stuff right in front of me earlier.
Oh my god. Amazing. So tell me what you all rolled. Because I believe most of you did you all roll underneath your point numbers? Because I forgot to keep track of all of your points. No, one is a no.
I did it.
You did two no's.
Yeah.
You rolled under. We have one success.
Russell just bulldozes everybody in his path.
I think this has to be the most Winnie the Pooh cartoonish shit that has happened, right? Like what happens is that you're all barreling down, and the rest of you who failed, and because you all failed, I do want you all to move your points over to Bear. So move 1 point back over to Bear and for frustration. And with that, as you're all barreling down, I think you all just ping pong and pinball against everyone else. Miffy, at one point, you struck a tree and like the pedals of a pinball knock into 5 different people. Yara, when that happens, you bump into Miffy again, and Miffy bumps over to Arroyo, and Arroyo is just kind of like moving zigzag against everyone else that's here.
Taking
And
out the
just
competitors. That's totally what I meant to do.
You're all taking out the competitors.
That was my intention, honestly, too. So like,
why heist it when you could just win the?
yeah.
win
If there's
heist?
if there's one
That's
thing
such a
about
good
Naruto,
point.
he's gonna terrify. And he's gonna cause some ruckus.
Oh hell yeah! I should have made you roll with that advantage because it's terrifying. But yeah, because you already succeeded, you just and all of your friends just made it so much easier for you as you just barrel down in full speed and are able to cross the threshold of the finish line, getting the record time. You see the folks, there's a person over at the end of the finish line that clicks off the time and goes, my word, that's a record. We need to put this into the Bear World Records. And you see them kind of like getting super excited. And you're all at the bottom of the hill. And as you arrive at the bottom of the hill, you see flat ground leading towards a dock of some sort across a river. And there are several tools, seems a very strong word. There are lots of ingredients to put together to make things. You see logs that are neatly stacked. You see a little area with what used to be a makeshift sail of cloth against a log that you can all attach together. This is the water portion. And looking over at your maps of the area, you are aware that you could go down the river, or you could just try and follow the river down towards where the honey is being stashed in the vault. And you see the competitors that have been ping-ponged and attacked violently at this point kind of like begin to get their bearings. Some begin setting up boats. You see some of these like grizzly bears huddled together to form a chain boat between all of them, where they're all biting each other's tails and trying to swim across together.
I'm like, wow, that looks fun.
So what is the plan? What do we like to do over here, gang?
I think Yara, first and foremost, is like, all right, I'm a panda bear. Speed, not my strongest suit. If someone else wants to take point on this part of the adventure, your girl would appreciate it.
Do we have like a leader in our group? Is it Hermoso?
That seems like what all of you are implying right now. Yes. I think it's used to Hermoso themselves.
Cool. I think what Hermoso is doing right now is trying to like see the actual like boats or water vehicles of whatever sort, and like try to gauge which ones look the most mess upable. If I wanted
to sabotage other people,
I think winning
so we're
is
still
sabotage.
just like competing. We're not like trying to.
I do love that this heist has turned into straight up we're competing now.
Well, I think we're cheating, which is different.
This is a long way round, but sometimes if you get to the same place, then as long as you're home for dinner time, it don't really matter.
I think we're all really inspired by this speech that Hermoso gives about why
Yeah.
/ Edgar is like, wow, you are so handsome and smart.
I just like put my paw on their shoulders and they're just, it's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down.
I'm very inspired by that, and I'm like, yeah. After witnessing the world record-setting speed run of the hill roll, I'm like, I'm not gonna let you down, Hermoso. Like, I'm fully in for competing. I think now.
Okay, all right. So, as I believe you're the driver, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes, absolutely.
We hired you for a very specific purpose.
Very specific purpose to drive a boat. All right.
I super know how to do.
You super know how to do. Which of these?
Yeah.
So what kind of boat configuration would you like to do? You could set up the you could set up a sail onto one of these like stacks of logs. You could try and make a makeshift
to one of the boats that are like at this dock. Do I have these?
I love that idea so much that I am going to forego any previous lore I've already established.
But you don't have to.
No. I love this. I love this so much. I have an option of 4 motorized boats. I'm going to roll on this D4 to see which one you all get.
All right.
And this is like
we got the funniest one.
Boat, I'd assume.
We got the funniest boat. You see a flotation device attached to a security jet ski.
Oh God! Thank God.
So the rest of y'all could get onto the flotation device as Vivi, you take the wheel on the jet ski.
Is there like stuff in which to make like the ski part of a jet ski to like tie onto the back of it?
Yep.
You want to ski off the back?
I would love to do that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
amazing. Yeah, I think you probably also tighten it to make sure that nothing gets in the way of y'all doing this. Fantastic.
Miffy's Yara's like, Miffy, you got this. This is gonna be just like Uncle's 40th birthday when you jumped that thing in the river, and it was really impressive. You guys aren't gonna believe this. Like, she's all over this. I'm really hyping her
The
up.
whole family still talks about that.
They
and that
do,
was
it's
like
true.
2 whole years ago. It's legendary.
Incredible. You hop onto that jet ski and you start it up. Oh, Miffy, I'm going to ask you for our first roll for this segment. Please roll with criminal for me.
Okay.
Remember those of y'all who did fail earlier with frustration that you had to move your points from criminal to bear. You can voluntarily move 1 point from bear to criminal by doing a flashback scene.
I would like to do a flashback scene, please.
All right, go ahead. Tell me what is happening in this flashback scene.
I sit on my jet ski. I rev the jet ski engine, which I assume jet skis have. And I remember back to this family event 2 years ago when the whole family was on their, on the lake, hopped on this jet ski.
We're in the Midwest.
Yes, absolutely, obviously.
Yeah.
Midwestern bears. And my goal was literally just like do a nice little lap around the lake. I accidentally lost control of the jet ski because I didn't know what I was doing and went on this like wild crash course and ended up launching over like a launch thing totally on accident, but everyone thought it was so badass that I played off. Like, I totally meant to do that, and I'm gonna think that I'm gonna like try to be the actual badass.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So and move over that point. You move that point over. Give me a roll. I'm gonna say give you that roll with advantage because everyone else is hyping you up. I will consider that advantage.
I rolled a 1.
That is an incredible success. All of you are sat there upon that flotation device, getting real nice and comfortable. And you're like, all right, Biffy, whenever you're ready. And then you all begin like surging forward here in this river, moving as fast as you can through this river to head towards the finishing line. You do have a head start over all of these folks. And
probably the only ones with the motor.
Probably the only ones with the motor too, because y'all nicked it from the security keys. And you see, I think the group of grizzly bears that are like hanging on to each other by biting each other's tails and swimming, kind of like point at that and go, "Wait, we didn't know we could have those." As you're zooming past, and unbeknownst to our lovely group of 4 bears right here, we pan over to a site of several cameras upon a board where the organizer of this party, of this tournament, Bruno, sits on a large chair looking over the cameras at the shenanigans occurring in his tournament. And he goes, "All right. It seems we have a bunch of troublemakers here in the Sunbear trials. Mitch, I'm gonna have to ask you to execute Plan B." And that is where we're going to take our break. Thank you everyone so much for being here and for all of your lovely donations. Please continue that incredible donation train and help or hinder our incredible party as forces are now moving against them. Fantastic. Everyone, I want to remind you all to get up, stretch, pet your pets. We'll be right back after 5 to 10 minutes. Take care, everyone. See you in a bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunbear Trials, our Honey Heist one-shot charity stream benefiting the Transgender Law Center, an organization that is dedicated towards advocating for trans folks in the world for all people are free to define themselves and their futures, right? I do want to remind folks that there are donation incentives for the stream. You can help or hinder our party here as they venture into their heist with a whole host of charity incentives, including me being legally mandated to introduce a hot NPC, which seems to be the vibe for tonight. But there are also other incentives that you could also hop in on. And also want to remind folks that in this current I just got a notification that we got another hot NPC. Thanks, guys. But I do want to take this opportunity to remind everyone in a very, very real way that trans and queer rights are being attacked across the country, and the Transgender Law Center works to advocate in the legal space in order to secure our rights in the legal sphere. Trans rights are human rights. Queer folks have always been here, and trans joy, rage, wrath, and justice are valid and important. So we're going to jump right into that with some Honey Heist. Content warnings for this session include fantasy cartoon violence, bears, descriptions of bugs, and descriptions of rushing water, which is exactly what we come back into. Without further ado, our party of 4 bears. You all have hopped on to a stolen security jet ski, hooked up a flotation device.
The keys. We didn't steal it. It's
You stole the keys.
Yeah,
How'd you get the
it's
keys?
different. It's different.
It's different, sure. You did steal the keys to be able to get this.
I didn't hotwire it, which is good because I don't know how to hotwire it, but y'all don't even know that.
You've hopped onto this jet ski, onto the flotation device, and are now zooming down the river, beating most of your competition because none of them have access to motorized vehicles. And Miffy, as you are zooming down, your focus on not hitting rocks, your focus on making sure everyone gets there in one piece, the rest of you begin to hear the sounds of sirens coming from around you. And emerging from all, behind you are 3 security guards in 2 different vehicles. One of them is on a jet ski, and the other 2 are on a boat that are currently trying to hunt you down. And you see, to the audience, the camera panning around to Bruno, who nods approvingly at the camera as they chase you down this raging river. And you see one of them holds up a loudspeaker and says, "We order you to stop. You are at risk of disqualification by use of motorized vehicles. We order you to stop," as they're yelling at you. What do the 4 of you want to do?
Is the one with the thing on a jet ski?
They're on a boat. The one on the jet ski is just pursuing.
If, as I'm on the at the skis, kind of on the thing, would I be able to maneuver myself near a jet ski and use the pauldron to whack at whoever's driving it?
Yeah.
Can I
sure.
muscle roll? I'm the muscle here. As my role of muscly bear.
Yeah, so you'll get to roll 2d6 for that. That's bear, so you want to roll below your bear points, wherever that number of points is at the moment.
That's at a 3 right now.
Yep. So you want to roll below a 3 and below.
That's a 3. Cool. Okay.
Fantastic. So this jet ski is inching closer and closer to your flotation device. And Hermoso, I think in this moment, you pull off your pauldron like a sling, and you pick it up, you swing it within your arm, and as this bear, this poor panda-looking fellow, who has a set of nerdy glasses and is wearing this tight security guard uniform, and is about to kind of yell at y'all to stop, you just thwack across the snout, and they fall backwards, and the jet ski kind of just keeps moving until the torpedoes close towards the shore. And that is a success. And because you succeeded, Go ahead and move your point of bear into criminal. So you're now at 4-2. Fantastic. What are the rest of y'all? There's still the one group that's still chasing you, and there's 2 guards aboard a boat. What do the rest of y'all do?
So I'm hanging off the back of the flotation, watching Hermoso be amazing, and I'm just screaming. And I'm just like, "You're fantastic! You're so fantastic!" And then when I hear the cops, I'm like, "Oh shit! My brother's gonna kill me."
Yep, go ahead, continue.
Like back home somewhere, I'm sure he's watching the TV screen and has
Oh,
seen
yeah,
me
the
jet
camera-
across the screen and is like,
The camera pans over because we did have a hot NPC redemption. The camera pans over to a comfy bed with these fluffy blankets and pillows, and you see your brother Arroyo, who is an extremely muscular bear. It kind of looks exactly like you, but just better in every way. Like more muscular,
more handsome,
more handsome. Like
bigger
he's got
paws.
a bit bigger paws. He's got a bit of an overbite, but it kind of just looks like he's got this nice smolder going on, like real Geralt energy. And I think that he's switching channels. The ads have just concluded, and it pans over to Hermoso whacking a security guard, and then you cheering, and you see Arroyo just go, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." He's like, "Edgar, what are you up to?" And he's now you see his leg is up, elevated, trying to protect his leg. You see him scrambling over the side to try and find a phone that isn't there to contact you. And we pan back to you. What would you like to do in this moment?
Well, I think because I'm a stealth bear and I'm just realizing, I'm supposed to be this, really. I'm a bumbling thief, but they don't need to know the bumbling part. So I think my move is to go into stealth mode, which is to just take a life jacket and try to hide under it. Which isn't great because I'm bear-sized. But that is my move.
Okay, fantastic.
To hide.
To hide. This seems criminal. So go ahead and roll me a criminal. And
My
because
criminal's
you're
2.
Your criminal's 2, but you do have 2d6. I will count because someone did redeem for the hot NPC, I will count the flashback to your brother as for you to be able to move your point over for
so we're
3 if you would like.
Rolling against 3.
You're rolling against 3 and you get 2d6. Yeah.
Alright.
And I believe someone just donated for a -1, and Arroyo, you do have a second -1.
Okay, that's good because I have a 4. Is my lowest.
Fantastic.
Being sponsored.
You're being
Yay!
sponsored. You're being sponsored. I think what happens in this moment is with your second -1, we can now it's just the whole party has a -1. You get a 3, that means you succeed. And with that success, I think you just duck down and the guards are unaware that you are a part of this troop and are able to bide your time for whatever shenanigans you're about to throw at me in the next couple of turns. Miffy and Yara, do either of you want to do anything about these guards as they creep closer to you all?
I think because Miffy is driving, I would want to protect the driver because if Miffy goes down, we all go down. And clearly Arroyo's being no help. So I think I start to kind of look around for something I can also use as a weapon.
Okay.
And I guess, so we're on a flotation device on the back of a jet ski.
Yes.
I've never in life, me, Alex, been on a jet ski.
Okay.
So
You're also in a flotation boat behind it.
Yeah. I don't know. Would there be a toolkit? What if your jet ski breaks down?
What's in the boat with us?
What's in the boat with you? I think there would be a set of tools just in case folks fall off. I think when you open it, you see very, very practical tools like a knife, something that to cut loose. You see some bit of rope. I believe you will also see. I'm so scared to say the next sentence. You would also see a flare because that would be in
Yeah,
something like this, so people would find you. And a whistle and a first aid kit is probably what you will find in this toolkit.
Okay.
I thought about it. I was listening because I have been in many a jet ski and many a boat in my time, and I was like, wait, there's a flare in there. And I am understanding the ammunition I'm about to hand you. So what would you like to do?
First and foremost, Yara pockets the knife. That's going to come in handy.
Fire needs to stab someone, they're ready.
Yeah. Okay, then I think I'm going to take the flare and the rope. And this is going to be a complicated maneuver, but basically I'm going to tie the flare onto the rope and then kind of swing it above me like a lasso. And I'm going to like aim it at the other jet ski. I'm like trying to knock the guy right in the face with my flaming...
With your flaming
rope.
This is the wonderful complexity of Honey Heist, is where do I put this stat? Is this bear or is this criminal?
Are we human or are we dancer? I don't know.
This sounds like
and the whole
bear.
time I'm in the back and I'm like, we are not doing very good at being stealth.
This sounds like bear, so
Except
go ahead and roll
I'm
bear
killing
for me.
Okay, I want to double check what I... Okay, I have 4 in bear right now. Does that sound right?
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay. And
That sounds about right.
Do I get -1 or am I...
So you do, if you want to choose to use it, you can use that -1. But yeah, you can basically roll, and you need to get under a 4. 4 and under.
2.
Fantastic! That is a success. You light the flare and lasso and loose it onto this person, but you time it so perfectly that as soon as the flare would propel in a direction, you have lassoed it in the direction of the person who is driving the boat. And is going after you, and this bit of flare just knocks them right on the snout. This really, really poor, like what bear should I make that? Polar bear. Let's make them a polar bear. This poor polar bear. You see this flare just boom, knock them off the side of the snout as they fall into the river, and this boat loses control and hits against the shore near the tree, and the other bear, which is holding onto the loudspeaker, launches off of the boat and lands right into some bushes. And you are
Yara's
all
like,
home free.
My bad.
And I'm like, wow,
see,
these cow bears certainly have good moves.
You see a paw reach up above the bushes, go, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm all right. And with that, you are all torpedoing down this river. And
as the driver, I'm feeling very inspired right now. I see Hermoso just being the coolest of all cools with his pauldron swinging skills. I don't even see our thief, who is just so good at thieving that he's disappeared. My sweet, wonderful cousin Yara, who has been so helpful and chill and cool to like let me tag along on this little trip, is defending me and like sending this boat off into the sunset. Can I try to do a really cool like speed up and like drift to the side move to try to like slingshot us onto the opposite shore, closer to
the
where
boat?
to where we're supposed to be heading?
Yes, and because you are a driver, that's 2d6. Roll criminal. This is a criminal move.
Okay,
so
I think I'm 3 and 3 right now.
You're 3 and 3 right now. I do believe that's correct. Give me a jet ski Tokyo drift, and you do have a -1 if you need to.
I'm gonna employ my -1. Thank you very much, because I rolled a 5 and a 4, but -1, that's a 3.
That's a 3, and you succeed. Describe to me how you Tokyo drift your jet ski onto the opposite shore.
Okay, I'm going to like in my head, the moment slows down, that kind of slowness that comes with you knowing that it's a serious moment. And I'm gonna look over my shoulder and see the rest of my squad just kicking so much ass right now. And I'm gonna pull hard to one side and like lean into it so that the jet ski really just swings hard around, creating waves that look really epic and splashy, and just like slingshot us right on through.
Incredible. You slingshot. All of you have this sudden feeling of like when you feel the G-force for a second as your stomach rises a little bit as the flotation device rises, and then you finally like fall with not a shudder, not in a damaging way, but you all fall with a very comfortable thud and land right onto the shore of the opposite area to where everyone is. And this good thing that you did too, because as you land here, you hear the thumping of bare paws over the shore where you were supposed to have finished. And everyone, you see a large polar bear fellow who is wearing an eye patch and has not a uniform, but what looks like bulletproof armor worn on top of him. And he's just kind of like, his piercing blue eyes scanning the area, and he just goes, "Search the area, they can't have been far. Quickly, now!" And he growls at the nearest little scrawny little Sunbear that goes, "Yes, sir," and just scrambles off for security. And I do want to take a moment to thank our viewers because we did hit our goal and we have a brand new goal.
Awesome!
$300. And I gave you a hot new NPCs and keep those donations going. It's going to a great cause. Thanks, gang. You're now on the opposite shore, all of you. And as you are settling down, gathering yourselves, what has happened now is before you see lots of trees. There seems to be a half-beaten path forward, but it looks like there's going to be a little ways away for y'all to walk and journey to head towards the fall. But you do see the shape of a building in the distance, which means you're pretty close by. I'm assuming you all would like to make your way over there, unless there's anything else you'd like to achieve here on the shore.
No.
I think Yara just like does like a really cool pose.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. So yeah. I'm feeling good.
Yara and Miffy start dabbing.
And Arroyo/Edgar is just standing there like, "Wow, you guys are really good at this. You guys must have been doing this for years. I'm like really impressed. This is pretty amazing."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, then we can go to the thing.
Amazing. A reminder for folks who did succeed in all of your stuff. You do move your stats from bear to criminal, so you'll have more points in your criminal now. Which is perfect because you all, I think, hunker down low as you move your way towards this large, what looks to be like a warehouse almost. It is crawling with guards. It is this large warehouse built with sheets of metal, and if it weren't for y'all entering this area, you would not have been able to spot it between the vines and the trees moving in here. And you see a proper road that's been beaten out in the front of it, where you see a vehicle finally arriving into the entrance of the warehouse. And you see that large bit of honey in its like little honeycomb dripping and oozing out from the jar, and the briefcase leaning against it being transported right into the warehouse. What would you all like to do?
I
We gotta go.
And I throw up my arms and I'm like, "Wait! Maybe we should be quiet this time." Thinking about my brother at home and how he's going to kick my ass. So can I look around and see if there's any sort of stealthy way that we could maybe make it towards that building?
Sure.
Or at least that truck.
Yeah, I think you see the truck has now entered the building and the doors are being shut, and you see that the guards are now shutting it and are now standing watch. But you see that the movement of the guards is they have to leave certain areas to patrol other areas. And knowing all warehouses, there's gotta be a back door. And if you time yourselves perfectly, you could get to the back door, handle whatever is happening there, and sneak in and find your way into the warehouse without arousing the suspicions of dozens of guards that will befall upon you.
So I expressed that to the group, and I'm like, listen, if we want to, like, I do like hitting people with things, and I think we've had great successes. But what better way to knock them off our track than to suddenly be really good at our jobs and like be quiet? So I suggest that we try to sneak to that back door in between the guards changing,
or
because I've seen it, and I like pause. And I'm like, don't say in comics. And I'll just be like, in the past on all my other great adventures, that sometimes like jumping a guard and stealing their uniforms is a way to get into a place pretty stealthily. So I propose 2 options to my comrades, just to prove that I'm really good at this.
I cannot intervene. It is a canon event. What would you all do?
That's the smartest bear I've ever met. Why?
Okay, I think.
And I'm like, yes.
I think Yara's like, yeah, okay. I like, just as a reminder, I do have one of the guards' phone numbers, so in theory, I could like call in there and create a distraction,
or lure her into the woods and steal her uniform.
I could do that too.
See, you had me in the first half there, and then.
I mean, are we assuming the back door is locked?
I mean, probably.
I
would assume that wholeheartedly.
Assumption.
Yeah.
And it would be funny if it wasn't.
Maybe I can call this girl and be like, hey, come meet me out back. And then she'll open the door.
Oh.
That's our in.
I have the smartest cousin in the whole world.
All right.
Now, when she comes out, do you like romance her in distraction? Do we punch her?
That's such a great question, Hermoso.
These feel like the 2 options available.
I think, okay, is there a way you're the Brawly Bear, but the Brawly Bear, could you gently knock her unconscious? Because she seems nice, and I don't want to do any, like permanent damage, but I do think probably unconscious is better for us.
Edgar shoots his pop in the air. And he's like, if we can get her to the woods here, I can climb up the tree because I'm a very good climber.
Oh, yeah.
And if you get her under me, I can drop onto her and I can cover her eyes. And then we can take whatever we want.
Okay.
Oh, maybe we do like a forest pair and like a infiltrate pair, and we wait for
Kentucky bait and switch.
Yeah, we wait for the lesbian to leave, and then Miffy and I go inside. That way we're already in there, and then y'all just like knock on the door after you're done falling and whatever have you, kissing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we can let you right in.
I think this is a really good plan, you guys.
Basically foolproof. I would argue.
Yeah. Okay, so we get in position, I think, and Yara takes out her bear phone. And uses her claw to punch in.
Edgar climbs up his tree.
His digits.
Waiting. Humming his theme song.
Fantastic. His theme song.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You have to have a theme song if you're a super spy.
All right. So let me reiterate this plan for my benefit as your game master. The bear master, if you will. 2 of y'all are luring the lesbian out.
Yes.
Getting the drop on her quite literally. And attempting to steal a uniform or just distracting her?
I think that we should steal the uniform and put it on Yara.
Okay.
And then Yara can be like our fake.
I am the face, so that makes sense. I'm supposed to do the talking, right? I'll lead the group, and I can be like, these prisoners were trying to steal the honey, and I'm taking them.
Oh, there's that too.
I
the
love
vault.
that idea.
And-
Yes.
And everyone will buy into that, I think.
As long as there's
Yeah.
a prison inside that building, we don't actually know what's going on in there.
Well,
It's a
on
good
the-
alternative plan if like we don't want to split up.
that is a plan that you have, and then the other two are going to infiltrate while
Yeah.
these two are fantastic. So I will only require 2 rolls. Okay, now that I have figured out the plan, you use your little pubs. Boop, boop, boop. You call our incredible Layla, who is our butch lesbian of a bear, and you hear the phone pick up, and you see Layla go, "Hello?" And before you say anything, I would like to have you roll
You can do it,
with
Alex.
criminal.
Okay.
Yara.
You do get 2d6 because you are the face of the party, and you
Oh,
are
yeah.
doing face things right now.
Okay.
And so roll 2d6. What is your points right now in criminal?
I think it's 3. I think I'm 3 and
3.
3.
So you want to roll a 3 and below.
All right. The first one was a 5, so that wasn't great. The second one was a 3.
Fantastic.
We're good.
Good. With 3, you tell me how you lure this butch lesbian out of her
Okay.
job in Toast.
I won't make you go through this whole combo with me. I'll give the clip notes. I think Yara is like, oh my gosh, hey, it's me. From a little while ago.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I see. I'm on. My brother is competing in this stupid tournament, and so I was over by the water waiting for him. But then I saw this building, and I saw a bunch of security guards going towards it, and I thought, oh my god. I bet that cutie from before is over there. So, I'm actually like standing outside, and I was wondering if you wanted to come like smoke a bear joint.
And the whole time Yara's talking, I have my ear pressed to the phone, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, that's good. That's great. That's so smart."
You see,
Typing.
the guard on the other side is like, "Yeah, I would very like that very much."
Yeah.
So, she says, "I will see you in a couple of minutes then."
Oh my god, okay, yeah.
After a couple of minutes, you see your hot lesbian butch of a bear kind of like strolling up. You see her kind of like adjusting her fur behind her ears. And she goes, "Oh, hey, it's funny seeing you here." And you both have a talk and be flirty. You've successfully distracted her already from her post. Now we go to the second part of this plan. Plan bear drop. So bear drop. So you just want to land on the guard, right? That's what you're. Yeah.
Is the guard a grizzly bear?
Yes.
Oh, so I'm like significantly smaller than her.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Noted. Gonna be great. See no flaws with my own plan.
Listen, this isn't D&D. You either fail or you succeed. It's a crit success over here. So
I have a knife if you fail. I didn't want to resort to that, but I do have a
what
knife.
is happening?
So now I'm worried that my partner is gonna murder this bear if I don't.
I don't know.
do it
This
right.
is my
I'm gonna,
first heist, dude.
my
I'm
brain's
freaking out.
All right, this sounds like a bear roll to me because you're
Yeah.
just landing on them. So you do have, as a party, you do have a -1, so you can tap into that. You want to roll 3 and below. And
I
wait,
think
what
I'm
your
at a
skill
2.
is? Wow!
I'm at a 2 for bear.
Got a 2 for bear. Oh, I thought you rolled a 2. So you need to roll a 2 and below, or you can have a flashback sequence to move a point over.
No, I think it'll be funner this way. Let's see. What
Okay.
I can roll twice. Is that right?
Yep, you can roll twice because your friend's distracting them.
Well,
That
we
was a
didn't do it,
face.
guys. That was a 3 and a 4.
Do you still have the extra -1?
You do have a -1 if you want to use it right
Then I
now.
have a 2.
With a 2, you see that the lesbian is Layla is looking over at you, Yara, and she's just like, yeah, no, I thought you were really, really cute too. Actually, there's this lovely lesbian bar not too far away from here. It's called the Parrots, and you just land right on top of her.
And Yara's
because
like, oh no, what?
she is
what's
out
that?
cold. She's got the cartoon swirly eyes. Her tongue is like out of her jowls. And she's got the little cartoon birds going over her head. Like she's out for the count, gang. You can see her uniform.
I struggle to my feet, and I go,
Hermoso and Miffy, you see this? They did it. And you're able to now sneak in to inside of the warehouse. But before we resolve what's happening over there, let's resolve what's happening with all of you. So you'll steal the outfit. Who's wearing the uniform?
I think
yeah, because I'm well, unless we want a tiny little black bear wearing a big old security outfit. It should be us.
Who doesn't want that?
Should we do rock, paper, scissors for it? Maybe, like, I feel like Edgar is, like, really wants to prove himself, and he's like, I think I could pull this off. Should we rock, paper, scissors for it? Yara?
Okay, how do we do that over Zoom?
All right, let's.
I think there's a lag. I'm worried about.
You know what? Let's make this easier, and both of y'all roll a d6 to see who gets the higher number.
All right. That's a
4.
5.
Oh wow! So Arroyo does succeed with that. So I guess through the tournament of rock paper scissors, you will be putting on the very, very big punk rock customized security jacket.
Yeah.
I
put it on
your person. Mm-hmm.
The sleeves are kind of past my little paws, and I turned to Yara, and I was like, you know what? This feels right. Feels good. Does it look good? Does it look as good as it feels?
You look fine.
And I'm like, awesome.
Yara's like salty. Yara's like, I thought I was the face. I thought I was going to be doing the costume work. I'm not, this, whatever. This
been better at rock, paper, scissors.
This guy shows up, he just breathes in my ear. It's super uncomfortable. And then he doesn't help on the jet ski.
I got the jet ski to begin with, so now they're arguing.
All right, while these two are arguing, Hermoso and Miffy, you enter into the main warehouse. And here in the warehouse, you see quite a sight. There are tons of crates all around you. And as you are looking across all of this, you notice still a few guards, not as many as outside. And you notice many winding paths, but it seems that all of the guards here are protecting a central little area within the warehouse, which is further off in the distance. But you do have the plans that tell you that that's most likely where they're housing the honey. And as you're hunkered low, listening and paying attention to all of this, you overhear Bruno, who is stood up over a little balcony, looking over everything. And this large fellow just kind of looks in his bespectacled bare fur, lit up only by these dingy, electric lights in this warehouse, kind of go, well, you know the plan. We are expecting some shenanigans here over in the warehouse. I wish for the guards to be tripled, and I would like for the lasers to now be employed for the protection of the Manuka and the honey. That would be excellent. And he turns over to the guard and says, I trust that the kill switch is secured appropriately. And you see this guard nod. Yes, Bruno, sir, it is indeed secured appropriately. And as this polar bear fellow who's wearing a suit. Doesn't look like a security guard. Probably is some sort of assistant of some kind. And he kind of like just smiles to Bruno, and Bruno goes, "Well, if that's the case, I shall make my exit and ensure that the honey hunt goes as planned. I will see you later." And he kind of like bumbles his way out of the warehouse, is put in a bear limo, and will soon be driving off to the honey hunt. Well, and you also hear the other two bickering outside. What would the two of you like to do in this moment?
Is this polar bear like by himself? Like
He's like in an upstairs area. There's a few guards. Let's say there's like about 6 guards on the lower floor. There's this kind of like upper floor that looks kind of like a management office-y sort of situation. That's probably got like 4 guards up there. And there's a central area that's out of your vision, but you see the entrance to it from here.
You're the brains of this operation.
I kind of want to get like as close as I can to where Bruno came out of.
Okay. So you want to head up towards the little office-y bit. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. In that case, you want to head up. So let's have you stealth up there. So go ahead and roll criminal for me. To stealth up there.
Oh, cool. I am at a 4 right now. That's
Fantastic.
And that's a 1.
That is a 1. Fantastic. So because you rolled really well again, you succeeded. Move your bear over to criminal before your success, because the plan is going off without a hitch. You hunker low and creep your way up towards this kind of like office-y area. You see that this polar bear kind of like nods as soon as Bruno has left and has begun walking towards this office. And you see that this office is almost like a production area, it seems like, because there's so many wires, so many buttons, so many switches, and there's a glass casing around this office that looks below to the large honey pot and the briefcase of Manuka that is sitting there. And then you see him kind of like murmur to someone with switches on a switch, and boom, 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 boom. The lasers engulf the area in a maze. And that is their security measure for this area. And you can see now from this height, there's a pathway from the lower area, which you would go into there, but the lasers are going to be a problem.
But I saw this person turn on the lasers.
Yes, you do know where the switch is,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But there are 4 guards up there with the polar bear,
Right.
and 6 down there, 6 in the downstairs area.
I want to like try to get this polar bear to come close to me, or I guess me him, or like I want to take him out. But like
you want to take him out? All right.
Like
while you're figuring out how to take him out, do the other two who are bickering, do you find your way back into the warehouse at some point?
Yeah, I think we wander over.
You wander over, you're with Miffy.
Wander or sneak over, because like I'm good. Yara, you're the one who's like out in the open, not prepared for this.
Shh, guys, there's a lot of... We gotta be quiet.
You see that...
Shit. Okay.
You see there's a
start
scarred like
giggling.
black bear that's kind of like... thinks he heard something. Proceeds down a different area.
I think Yara would go over to Hermoso and be like, "Hey, I know you got your eye on that polar bear. Do you want my knife?"
Wait, can I take the knife?
I can give you my knife. I took it for everyone.
This is a communal bear knife.
I'm just like, I thought that we were supposed to be quiet. Why did I put on this outfit and do all that hard work if we're just gonna start
Whispering.
No, but you're a
Miffy.
security guard. You're a security guard. You go over to the polar bear and say, "Oh no, trouble that way," and then you take him that way, and then that way is our way, and then.
Okay. I'm ready for it. I'm not really ready, but I'm like, I just go. I just run, and I'm like, I'll do whatever you say. And I'm tripping over my pant legs because they're too long, and I can't move my hands. And I'm like, guards, I mean, fellow brethren, people, I saw just something bad back there. I don't really know. I heard it mostly. I didn't really see it, but I think maybe all of you should go check it out with me.
This feels like a criminal check. So go ahead and roll.
My criminal is 4.
4. You want to roll 4 and below?
That's a 3.
Ooh.
Fantastic. And now you should have a 5 in criminal because of your success.
I do.
Which leaves you with a 1 in bear. Everyone know how much you have in bear. As the guards, you see that scarred face of black bear kind of like shuffle up to you with great urgency. He just goes, "Where is it? Show me. Where? Now, you show."
Yeah. It's like all the way outside. I ran in here, which is why I'm so winded and nervous.
Right, come, you rookie. And you see him kind of like big palms over your shoulder, and then like brings you to show him where you heard this noise.
Yeah.
What that's happening? What the 3 of you doing? So I think that clears the guards in the lower area and maybe a couple from the upper area. So right now you just have the polar bear with 2 guards that are standing by with him in the main office. What would y'all like to do?
I take the guards, y'all take the polar bear.
Okay. All right.
This is a lot more crime than I thought we were going to be doing.
Look, the M in Hermoso stands for muscle, and that's what we're about to get into.
Fair.
And the H stands for hurt, and that's what they're going to get into.
That tracks. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Yar's like eating it up. Like, yeah, this is why he's the outlaw. This is it.
Hey, so all right, okay, all right. So the 2 of you are going after the 2 guards, and Hermoso, you're going after the polar bear. Fantastic. Those all sound like bear rolls to me because y'all are trying to take them out. Yeah. Hermoso, how many points do you have in bear right now?
1.
You need to roll a 1, basically.
1.
But you can have a flashback sequence. And I will allow this to be a group one so that you all can move a point to bear. If you would like to do so, what flashback sequence involving the 3 of you would strengthen you all in this moment and steel yourselves for the bear crime that you're about to commit?
Maybe like just reflecting on the jet ski moment and how like we all sort of relied on our own like personal things that we can be successful in, and like how that just really like went exactly the way that we could have had it. We wish we could have had it.
You remember that feeling of pauldron hitting bear snout.
Exactly.
You remember how good that felt. This is what you are good at, Hermoso. So you will roll 2d6, and you've moved your point over, so you need to roll a 2 and below, and you do have a -1. Godspeed. The other 2, are you also trying to take them out, or is that a new strategy that you're going to attempt?
It's up to you, Yara.
I think because this, Yara is the one who roped you into this also, and is like, okay, like Yara's supposed to be the criminal here. Is like trying to come up in this organization and really prove herself. So I think she's gonna, even though she's not much of a fighter, she's gonna really like kind of gather herself and remember, like, you are the panda. You are huge. You can sit on this other bear and probably win. And so, yeah, she's gonna like go basically just try to like wipe out these guys.
Yeah. All right, you're gonna wipe them out.
Yeah,
Amazing.
And I'm rolling against bear.
You're rolling bear. That sounds like a bear roll.
Okay. I think I have 4 in bear. Does that sound?
Yep, that
correct?
sounds correct. Yes,
Okay.
that sounds correct.
Oh God, I got a 6. So I think what happens is that Yara like tries to run and like barrel over these bears, and the first one is just kind of like got a really good solid stance, and so she kind of just like bounces off and lands like flat on her back, and she's like, "All right, Myth, your turn. You're up."
Oh, Yara, you do have a reroll if you want to use it.
Okay, all right. Let's see. There's a 2 that time.
Hey.
That is
Okay,
I
so
think we can keep that narrative.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, she gets back up and she's like, okay, one more time.
round two.
Yeah, and that time, and she like knocks them straight away, and so she's kind of like cleared a path for Miffy and Hermosa and the polar bear guys there.
Amazing. Because your sponsor came in, I would say that you easy barrel through. Hermosa, what did you roll really quick?
Oh, that's a 6. And that's a 5. So even with the -1, that's still 4.
No, you do have an additional reroll if you want to use that.
Let me take that.
Come on, sponsors.
But can I use the
For just pennies a day, you can help.
You can use another -1. Yeah.
Okay, so I got this roll was a 3, so -1 is a 2.
Fantastic. You knock through this, and you see the polar bear, and the polar bear like turns around, finally notices you, and tell me how you whack the daylights out of
I think I
bear.
just go like and just like fully just like pick him up and throw him like off of the railing or whatever.
You throw him off the railing. He lands into a bunch of crates that shatter under his weight. And you see this poor suited polar bear who is not a muscular fella, who's just there like, oh. Miffy, what are you doing amidst all of this?
Panicking a little bit. This is a lot. Are all the guards taken care of?
Yeah, I think so, because that's kind of how their role went, actually. So yeah, the guards take it out. What would you like to do instead?
Okay, I'm gonna tap into like my goal here, which is getting to this honey, and I'm gonna take a moment
Miffy Sniffy
and center myself and get a big Miffy Sniffy going on. I'm still a little high on criminal. Can I do like a little flashback to get a bit?
Sure. Okay. I will allow it. What is this? What is this flashback?
It's a training montage.
Yes.
Give me a training montage.
It's a sniffing training montage. And Miffy is good. Like, I'm just gonna, in the moment, I'm kind of like warming up. I'm pumping up to this, trying to fill my lung capacity all the way.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking back to all the times that I have practiced the Miffy Sniffy, my signature move, for tracking the best honey in town. And so we have a training montage of like young Miffy, like walking through the streets of her neighborhood, like sniffing around and just like finding like honeysuckles. We have like teenage Miffy, like finding the best honey at the cafeteria line. We have college age Miffy, like making friends at parties by being able to score the best honey around. And then like Miffy, like just before the Sunbear trials, really like hardcore training, like trying to pick out different scents of different honey. So like filling herself with that goodness, she's gonna do her best yet Miffy Sniffy to see if she can find the most direct path to this honey.
Yes.
Okay.
You give me that Miffy Sniffy.
Oh my gosh, here we go. I'm at 4 bear. Is this bear or criminal?
I will allow this. You're at 4 bear, right? You said you. I would allow this to be bear or criminal because it's criminal because you're trying to heist it, and it's bear because you're using a snoot. So whichever you'd like to use. And you get to roll 2d6 because this is your skill.
Okay, good, because that first roll was a 6.
Hey.
And that was a 4!
Hey.
Fantastic. Now you get to move your your bear over the criminal to balance it out a little bit. Because you succeeded.
Okay.
Fantastic. You feel that floral, aromatic smell pierce into your nostrils. This is it. There's no bamboozling happening here. This is correct. You smell the honey. You know that this is real, and you also can smell the car that you could use to get away, because the transportation that brought it there was also parked in this area to make it easy to load and unload said honey. And you can smell the droplets of honey. You're like in your mind's eye. This is the Assassin's Creed's like gamer vision where you can see everyone's heartbeat, but it's honey droplets. Like you see them colored in a different light. You see the path. Also smell something else, though, Miffy.
Uh-oh.
You smell the telltale smell of the guardians of honey, the ones who would protect it at all costs to not only their hive but themselves. Plan B was quite literally Plan B. As you see in the corners of the room, 4 hives are set up to guard this glorious honey away from you all. I will say at this point, we'll pan over to Arroyo. Arroyo, you're in a matter of minutes. These guards are going to realize you are not a guard. You are telling a lie, and that some shenanigans are happening over at the warehouse. And there's like several of them here. What would you like to do in this moment?
I lead the guards over into the woods, and I'm like, oh no! Look, this hot lesbian guard was jumped, and her uniform was taken. My God, hot lesbian, are you okay? And then, like, as everyone's like, oh, what's happening? And moving forward, I slowly back away into the shadows, humming my own theme song again, and with the intention of going back to the door.
Roll criminal for me to fade into the darkness like Batman.
While humming my theme song, is it important?
While humming your theme song.
That's a 1, baby!
Ooh! I was going to say roll 2d6 because it's like thievery. You're trying to sneak out. No problem at all. With a 1, you back out. And I think as you back into the warehouse, you just go and just close it so they can't get back in. And you like now make your way back over towards the area where everyone else is gathered in. So, folks, you see it now. You're all gathered. 4 honey guard posts. A laser machine still active, guarding the precious, precious honey for you all. What do you all do?
Okay, I have a clarifying question. The laser situation.
Yes.
Can we reach where they're coming from?
The button's all right there. Yeah, you
Okay.
Hermoso knows where the button is, so you could just kill the button there.
That one.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Lasers are off.
Nice.
And I think as soon as, because we did have a hot NPC redeem, we're going to have to bring Bruno back into the fold. As you shut the lasers off, a screen panel opens up and a video plays. And you see Edgar, this spectacled bear, who kind of like sits against his large chair, kind of like playing with a glass of honey that he's swirling around like wine in his paws. And he says, if it isn't the organization's finest who has found its way over to my little bear trap, I have deployed the greatest adversaries to our plight of acquiring honey. 4 of the most dangerous bees that we could find. Forgive me, honey thieves, but your honey heist is about to come to a tragic end. And I think he swirls that glass, sips onto that honey, and the video ends. He just had to get that in there as, the villain.
Oh no. Okay. Well, they found us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Do the guards have walkie-talkies or anything?
Sure, they can have walkie-talkies. What would you like to do with them?
I kind of want to mimic Bruno's voice and just be like, cancel plan B as soon as possible.
Like Bane.
Yeah.
Bear Bane.
Sure. This sounds like criminal. So which you have a shit ton of.
Yeah.
Can you, Val, can you debrief us on what we're seeing right now?
Sure. So right now you are in an upper office area. Looking below through glass panels, you see the honey no longer guarded by laser beams, but on each of the 4 posts, there's large hives, like those wooden boxed hives of bees that are now guarding not only their own hives, but also the honey that's there. And these look mean bees. If bees could have red eyes and glare at you all, that's what these bees are doing. But that's basically the situation. So that it's basically a rectangular room with these bees in the corner, and parked off to the side is the car used to load the honey and the suitcase. So that's the layout right now.
I have a plan.
Oh no. I heard one plan already, and now you're saying you have a plan. What's your
plan?
So, should I say it as character or out of character?
However you'd like to.
Okay. Okay. So I assess the situation, and I'm like, guys, I have an idea. Bees will go to sleep with smoke, right? And I turn to Yara. I'm like, Yara, how many blunts you got? We can smoke them out.
We could smoke them out. I don't know. Do you think? Okay. Well, question. If we if we pretend to be Bruno and we cancel Plan B, but we've knocked all the guards unconscious, are there still guards?
I am seeing the benefit of smoking instead.
Okay.
A personal benefit.
Okay. All right. And I turn to Miffy. I'm like, Miff, you good with this?
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure. I'm totally cool.
Tell my mom, but
Or mine. Yeah, or please don't tell mine.
Yara reaches into her bare pocket and pulls out some 4 very neatly rolled little roaches for everybody. And was like, all right, gang, pass them out. I was gonna save this for after we got the honey. But
Arayo has never smoked a blunt in his life and starts lighting the wrong end and is like, hell yeah, here we go.
Yara just leans over and twists it around.
Okay, perfect.
I can't say no to this. This is a canon event. I cannot intervene.
So I think we should all take a hive.
Yeah.
With our blunts that we are focused on.
Each of you take a hive.
B stands for blunt now.
We say that into the walkie-talkie. We're like, you idiot.
Because now we're very high and right?
Far away, the camera pans over to Bruno, who is sat on a beautiful bamboo throne almost, watching these not as efficient sniffers sniff out the honey, and very loudly on his guard's walkie-talkie comes the sentence, Plan B stands for blunt. And then click. And Bruno just goes. And amidst the confusion, You all each take this feels like it needs to be a roll. This feels like it needs to be a roll, but this isn't going to be a roll of whether or not you successfully use the smoke, but it's how long you're able to keep them occupied. So if you succeed being the longest time possible, and if you fail, it's going to be like a few moments before you have that. So who would like to roll for this? I will allow one roll.
Oh, are we okay? We're rolling as a group and not individually.
Yeah, as a group, just to make it faster, so that because
I think
this is overall success.
They're Yara's blunts. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yara, would you like to make the roll? This would be a criminal roll.
Come on, Yara.
I didn't actually hit it. I just
Yeah. This is also 2d6 because as the face of the party, you would have a blunt, I guess.
Okay.
Is how I'm reading this.
Okay. I got a 4 and then a 5, so we don't do a great job.
Well, it happens. So that's a failure. Am I getting that right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, Arroyo's never smoked before, so maybe he like takes a hit. The mess.
I think with that failure is that most of the bees are placated, but there is one hive that is stirring, and they are a little bit more aggressive than some of the other ones. You have maybe 3 minutes to grab this honey and the suitcase, load it up, and get out of here. So how are we doing this?
Life is a highway, y'all. Let's get out.
Yeah. I think really quickly, like realizing they don't have enough time, Yara just starts like loading up the honey. Like I don't know how we're gonna fit it in the car, but we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. The honey is sticky, it's heavy. With all of y'all working together, you should be able to load it up. But time is of the essence as you see the bees beginning to stir. They're becoming a little bit more rowdy. I would say you do succeed in loading it up. Miffy, you are the driver.
And Miffy was responsible, knowing that she is the driver, and was not partaking. She was blowing smoke out.
And not breathing it in.
Yeah, she's not inhaling. She
didn't
inhale. Should have done that.
She takes her job very seriously. Just want to put that out there.
Okay. Thank you for this PSA on road safety. You heard that, folks. All right, so you're not partaking. How are you? So it is now your time now. This is it.
My time to shine.
It all comes down to this.
So we're loading up the car. Have we gotten in the car yet?
You couldn't get into the car, right? This car is kind of more of a Jeep sort of situation. The car is a little misleading. Yeah, it's a little Jeep's a little misleading. This is more of a Jeep sort of situation.
Can I like jump through the like open window sort of like,
yeah,
super cool, like smooth, and like jump in and be like, everyone get in!
Get in the car! All right, everyone, I assume you hop in.
Yeah, we run to the car.
Yeah. I mean, Arroyo ripped a pretty big one in order to make sure that his bees were under control. And he has zero tolerance because he's never done this before. So he kind of stumbles into the back and his eyes are all watery.
Yara like grabs him by the scruff of the neck and shoves him the rest of the way in the car. Like, we're good, let's go.
I think if it's like a Jeep situation, Hermoso is like hanging on to like the like doorish part and just like fully like screaming as we drive away.
Fantastic. Yeah. Let us get a drive roll in here. That is a criminal roll. So please go ahead and roll for me. You can roll 2d6 because this is your skill. You can drive. That's your whole thing.
So I think I have 3 in criminal right now.
I believe so, yes.
And I rolled a 6 and a 4.
Ooh, unless someone wants to donate their -1 to this. Because I believe we have a handful of -1s left.
I don't think I've used my -1. So
yeah,
that's fine.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So then that puts me at a 3, which would be a success.
That would be a success, yes. You tell me, how do you drive out of here, of this warehouse?
A little sloppily, honestly, because there's a lot going on. I've got Hermosa hanging off one side. Like, there's just a lot. And so I kind of like try to be really cool and peel out, but it's more of like a toot out. And we do
Meet.
yeah, it's not as cool as I would have liked it to be, but we get where we're going, which is away from
this.
Yes,
you peel out with your iced honey in the back of your Jeep, and you are all peeling across this dirt road, and you hear the group of guards that Arroyo left behind go, "Hey, stop them!" And they all begin like running. There are a handful of other vehicles that are out here. There's another Jeep as well as a bike that a couple of the guards have gotten onto, and they are now giving chase. You see Bruno run across the hill to hear all of this commotion, and Bruno kind of like leans in and goes, "Stop the thieves now!" And you see that on the Jeep, these guards load up what looks to be a Gatling gun. But the gun doesn't look like a normal gun. You don't see them loading up with bullets. You see that there is a round chamber at the back of the Gatling gun, and you see that these guards turn, and the gun isn't tiny. The hole isn't tiny. The barrel rather, it is quite large, almost like a cannon, and it seems like they're loading it up with spheres of honey, as they are now loading it up into glass spheres and are about to get ready to launch them at you. What do all of you like to do in this moment as you notice that that's what they're doing?
My descriptor is unhinged. I think I'm just gonna try to jump onto like another Jeep. Like I'm still in barbarian mode.
Okay.
So I would like to jump, if I could jump or rush for something at another Jeep that is after us.
This sounds like a bear roll, and as we have discovered, you have almost all of your points in criminal right now.
Yeah.
Would you like a flashback sequence to remind yourself why you're a good bear? Okay.
I think like at the beginning of getting into the organization, when like you're brand new, they like make you do these like the stupid ass stuff to like prove yourself. And so doing these kind of like reckless, not really giving a care about your livelihood sort of situations was my way of just proving I belonged here. And so I, like jumping over rivers that are rushing and like on logs that are a little bit shaky and such. Yeah, I think just like to embed a sort of fearlessness in him has been like the product that the organization has made him into.
Really, I think you in this flashback, after all of the recklessness that you've been through, you see that there is a large kind of like Asian black bear who kind of like a mentor figure here in the organization. Kind of looks at you, puts a paw on your shoulder, and he goes, Never forget the bear that lives deep inside you. Unleash it for the world to see. They'll never know what hit them." And in this moment, you are fueled. In that moment, you have 2 in bear, I believe, at this point. Yeah. You need to roll a 2 and below. You get 2d6 to do so because you are unhinged. So I believe in you.
There are 2 bears that live inside him, and both of them are raging.
Both of them are raging.
That's a 4. And that's a 2.
In the arms of an angel, you leap off of this Jeep, your paws swinging out. And I think for flavor, they do, in a panic, shoot a like little bullet of honey at you, and you just in truest bear fashion just eat it. You just grab it in your mouth and do a big heckin' chomp, and you land onto the jeep and probably start wailing on them and distracting this jeep. Fantastic. While you're mauling the folks here on this jeep and doing bear things, over to the main jeep, there's still a bike that is in pursuit. What are the three of you doing? Well, one of you is driving, so hopefully you're still driving. What about the other two?
So Arroyo kind of turns to the driver, to Miffy, and goes, "Drive, Miffy, drive! Body weave!" And then Arroyo climbs up onto the top of the jeep and looks for something to like throw at the bike. What is there anything like on the jeep that I could toss off?
You tell me if you want evens or odds on this D4.
I want odds, always odds.
Odds, that's a 3. I'm going to say, what would be funny? I think what would be really funny for you to have here is that this seems to be a jeep that was in the middle of being like it seems to have been customed adjusted because it used to hold and mount the little Gatling gun, but because they were storing the massive jar of honey here, they had to take it off. But they did leave the little box of honey grenades right in the little box. So you do find those.
Okay. So I find the honey grenades and I hold them in my hands and I'm like, what would Arroyo do? What through my haze of marijuana? And I'm like, what would my brother do in this situation? And then I just kind of look and see that we're in dire straits. And so I rip the pins out of 2 of them with my teeth. And I go, inspired by Hermoso's act of bravery, and throw them towards the bike.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll me. This feels like bear. So roll me bear as you're throwing these honey grenades at them. And you also have a -1 thanks to incredible donations. And thank you all so much. We've hit our goal again. We hit $300. Thank you all so much.
All right. I need a 2 or a 1.
You need a 2?
That's a 3.
Did you add the -1?
2. Yeah, we're good. Solid.
Fantastic. You take these grenades of honey and pelt them at the poor, like, this is just like a sloth bear fellow whose like little biker helmet was a little too small for his little floofy head. And you're just pelting and pelting and pelting this honey over it. It hits the wheel, it hits the handles, and then finally, the final blow is right into the eyes where he cannot see and just finally like swerves into a tree and falls into some bushes. And you nail it. Yara, what are you doing? Your friend Hermoso is still stuck in a lovely, still stuck ways away from here.
So okay, I'm gonna take stock of the surroundings. We got rid of the bike that was coming.
Bike is gone. It's your Jeep and the other Jeep that's kind of swerving around because the people there are being beat up by Hermoso.
Okay, I think I'm gonna take. Okay, I'm gonna take the knife that I had, and I am going to try really hard to get one of the tires of the other car.
Slash some tires.
Slash some tires.
Just like praying for aim and like trying to get it right and like pop the tire so that they spin out.
Be bear, do crime. This sounds. I will let you choose because I can see this being bear and I can also see this being criminal. So go ahead and tell me.
I think I have 3 in each, so it's.
All right.
It's got to be less than 3.
It's got to be less than 3, and you do have a. Oh wait, no, that's -1 in Hermoso, unless Hermoso wants to donate the -1. Go ahead and roll that d6 and hope it's 3 and below.
I'm so anxious. Okay, it's a 4.
I'll give it.
Okay. Thank you, Hermosa. It's a 3, and I hit the tire, and it pops, and they spin out, and I'm like Hermoso, like, and I like lean like off.
You
of my
lean
hands.
out. I think because Hermoso did donate the -1, I think what happens is you launch this knife right into that wheel. The wheel pops, and it begins to like spin out. And as the Jeep is spinning closer and closer, Hermoso, you, after beating the living daylights out of everyone that's here, maybe grabbing a few of the honey grenade bombs just for you as a snack, as a little treat, you leap over and time slows and it is bullet time as the Jeep is spinning and you reach your paw out to Yara and you both clasp each other and bring Hermoso back on board, and you are now home free. This has been a successful heist as you, all four of you, ride into, four of you ride into the sunset. You see a bunch of the competitors like turn around while they're sniffing the honey. One of them is like getting closer to the road. They're like, guys, I'm telling you, I'm really sniffing the honey in this direction. And then zoom, the car, the Jeep just zooms
And there's
past.
like a cloud of smoke behind us.
Arroyo's in the back, and he was like, "This is just like Fast and the Furious 100-acre drift."
100-acre drift.
Hashtag family.
Family.
And with that, there's a telltale ringing over at Hermoso's watch as your coworker Zoe picks up the call and just says, "All right, gang, it's been a couple of hours. How did we do?"
Tell me, am I a very bad bear? Am I a very, very bad bear, Gaga? We did it.
Well done. You are indeed very, very, very bad bear, Gaga. Let's go. I'm so proud of y'all. And you see her kind of be like, well done, team. Well, you know what you got to do. Extraction point is happening within the next couple of miles, so keep driving, Miffy, and you should be able to get onto that. Also, I've been asked by one of our very, very important workers to send a message, and there's a click of a button that she does on her end, and the real Arroyo emerges from a little video call from his room and goes, "Edgar, what are you on about? What was that?" "You better not have messed this up for me, little brother, or I swear to God."
And I go, "You know what I've learned today?" As I pry open the jar of honey. Sometimes stealth just isn't the move, and I like stuff my hand in there and start looking at it.
Fantastic. And with that, unless there's anything else our lovely players would like to say, that is the end of our spectacular Honey Heist. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for helping us hit our goal twice.
That's amazing.
And
I love
supporting the Transgender Law Center and supporting trans advocacy. We're so greatly appreciative of that. And with that, let's begin wrapping up. We're going to do some introductions, and please go and support all these lovely folks as we do our final introductions. I will start us off. Hello, everybody. My name is Valiant Dorian. I use he, him, his pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure hunt I just set you on. I'm a TTRPG performer, Twitch variety streamer, and you may know me for my work over at Transplanar RPG, which is an all-transgender, POC-led TTRPG actual play show set in an anti-Orientalist, anti-racist, and imperialist multiverse. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, so y'all should go and check us out, twitch.tv/TransplanerRPG for the second episode of the Chaos Protocol. And yeah, that is me. I'm going to pass introductions over to Aiden.
I'm Aiden Thomas. I am a trans Latinx young adult author. I wrote Cemetery Boys, Lost in the Neverwoods, and the Sunbear Trials, which kind of inspired this whole campaign to begin with. You can find me. My handle is Aiden Schmaden on everything: TikTok, Instagram, everywhere you could possibly think of. I don't think I have anything else to say. Yeah. Oh, I write very trans, very queer stories.
And we love to hear it. Alex, take us away.
I'm Alex Abraham. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am also a writer, but I don't have anything being published at the moment. I'm in a management position at the moment. I help Aiden with his stuff. So his next project is also my next project, and that will be the sequel to the Sunbear Trials. So you guys should read the first book so you can read the second book when it comes out next year. If you're interested in following me and my chaotic self, I am at Alex Abe on everything, and it's ALEX_ABE_.
Amazing. Johnny, let the folks know
Yeah,
who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm Jonny Garza Villa. It looks like I'm about to tell a scary story right now, but I do not. I write contemporary young adult novels, including my debut novel, 1,500 Miles from the Sun, Honor and Something We're Here, and the upcoming Canto Contigo. You can follow me at Johnny Escribe, like write in Spanish, at Twitter and TikTok, and Johnny Instas at Instagram.
Amazing. And last but not least, Christen, let us know where you are, what you do, all of the good things.
I'm still Christen Randall. My pronouns are still she and they. I write queer, fat, nerdy YA, and if you like queer stuff and nerdy tabletop stuff, my debut novel, The No Girlfriend Rule, is totally what you need in your life. Check it out and more about me on most social medias at @bycrandall. And my kind of terrible website, bychristenrandall.com.
Oh my goodness. And I've been so honored and pleased. So GM for you all, everyone, round of applause to these folks who are doing an incredible job in their TTRPG AP stream. We are going to be rating Ali Mack, who isn't doing any tabletop at the moment, but they are raising money for Lambda Legal, another organization out there helping queer folks in the legal sphere. So please go ahead, send them all love. Use the rate message in chat, which I assume that we have, and go and send us those support, and make sure to stay there for all of our to receive the channel points through the raid. Thank you all so much for being here, everyone. Thank you so much for all of your support. Trans rights are human rights, and queer lives matter, and we have always been here. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye bye.
So much.
Bye.
Bye.